Yo, YouTube, what's up? I'm Tim. He's AC. It's the Cash Killing AC Sports Report. We gave you our AL East preview. Here's our NL Central as we continue to run down every division, every team in the MLB. So let's start at number 6. Who you got in 6th place this year?
I got number 6, your own Houston Astros. They just don't have a lot of pieces right now.
Ed Wade's their GM. I mean, what do you expect?
Ed Wade.
They traded Roy Oswalt and $11 million for J Happ and basically a packet of Gatorade. Like, I mean,
Packet of Gatorade Prime.
Yeah, I mean, they got G2 and a little of that stuff you pour in your mouth before the game. That's just
All right,
a bunch
we're getting
of
off
sugar.
topic here.
All
We're
right.
getting off topic.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line, Astros team, it's getting old. They're pitching, it's not a terrible rotation, but they have a bunch of number 3 starters. So it's better than the Baltimore Orioles, but I still have them with probably one of the worst records in baseball, like 66 wins.
No doubt.
5th place, who do you got?
I got the Chicago Cubs, actually. I guess that comes as a little surprise to you,
Yeah,
probably.
that's a surprise.
I don't think they're as good as people are giving them credit for. I just don't see. I know you probably have them, number 3 or something like that?
They're up there.
They're up there. Yeah, let's just say that.
Okay.
But, like, I just don't see them going far this year.
Okay, I got the Pirates. They're climbing out of the cellar. I mean, the Pirates have some nice pieces. Andrew McCutchen's a nice outfielder. Pedro Alvarez, nice third baseman. They added Lyle Overbay, who's a mediocre player, but he's better than what they had. Garrett Jones moves out to the outfield. He's a nice player. Ronnie Cedeno was supposed to be a really good shortstop, and it didn't work out so far, but it could. Their pitching is still a mess, and I mean that's why they're 5th place with about 71 wins. I mean, this team is beginning to show some pieces, but I still think they're so far away from contending that it's not even fun. 4th place, who do you have?
I have the Pirates in 4th place for the same reason that you said. Their pitching is an absolute horrid mess, but I don't know. They're younger.
Yeah.
They have some players there.
A few years ago, their pitching actually wasn't terrible as their lineup, and now it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's the complete. They've just flip-flopped the past couple of years. But I see these guys contending in, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years.
See them contending in maybe 3,000. Maybe by then they'll...
All right, come on.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, what
they're
everyone
not-
says is they have a nice stadium. Look, I got the Cubs in 4th place. I mean, I know everyone says, well, they played well for Mike Quaid down the stretch, but you can only do so much just because of the manager. I mean, how bad of a contract was Soriano and Kosuke Fukudome? I mean, that's terrible. Marlon Byrd, my favorite player of all time. No, I hate that guy. He screwed Philadelphia here. Blake DeWitt was supposed to be a nice second baseman with the Dodgers. He never really got his shot there. I think he's going to turn out well. Ramirez is decent. Is still a pretty above-average third baseman. Carlos Pena in a contract year, even though he just got there. Good player. Giovanni Soto had a slump last year. What it comes down to is guys like Carlos Zambrano and Tom Gorzolani and Ryan Dempster, whether they can get back to how they used to pitch rather than how they pitched last year. I mean, Zambrano, if he can pitch the way he did down the stretch, and he could win the Cy Young.
Yeah, Zambrano's always
He's
one of those guys that just hangs around there, but he's got head issues too.
Yeah, he's got a lot of head issues. 3rd place, who you got?
I got the Cardinals in 3rd place. They have a pitching. They have a lot of pitching with Carpenter and whatnot, but I mean they have Pujols and Halladay and a bag of potato chips.
This one might be a bit of a shock to you, but I have the Reds in 3rd place. 84 wins. I think they take a step back this year. I'm not hating on the Reds, but I think next year is going to be their year. For some reason, I just see them kind of slumping after getting to the playoffs. And, they got a lot out of guys that really aren't as good as they got out of. I mean, Johnny Gomes, I know the guy plays hard, but he's not as good as he played last year. Scott Rowland, I mean, the guy, I was telling every single Reds fan... Yeah, I hate Scott Rowland. I was telling every single Reds fan on YouTube, this guy, they're like, oh, he's going to win MVP. I'm like, the guy is having a solid first half. He can't stay healthy, and he can't play a full year anymore.
Anyone who says Scott Rowland is a real great guy and could possibly even win the MVP should be put into an insane asylum. I mean, you're out of your mind.
Okay, bullpen. I mean, the lineup's still good with Votto, MVP, Jay Bruce. It's a good lineup. I mean, I'm not taking away from the lineup. I think the pitching is very overrated, though. Francisco Cordero started to show signs that he just was not getting it done last year. Aroldis Chapman, I know you can throw 177 miles an hour, but at the same time, you got to develop another pitch, or people are going to eventually be able to hit you, unless you're 88 years old.
It doesn't matter how good of a fastball you have in the MLB if you don't have another pitch to back it up.
Which
players
he struggled with. He had a few things that he could throw, but I think we saw in the playoffs this guy just was not quite able to get it done. Pitching staff: Bronson Arroyo, Edson Volquez, Johnny Cueto. I mean, it's good, but I don't think any of them is a legit ace, and I think people picking them to win the World Series got to look at that. I don't think they have a legit piece. I think Arroyo's not as good as he played last year. I think Cueto's a good pitcher and Volquez are good pitchers, but you never know that you're going to get...
Arroyo played out of himself last year, but I still think this team is a decent pitching staff. I mean, I say one of the better ones in the division at least.
Okay, second place. Who you got?
I got the Reds in second place, clinching the wild card with this. Like we said, they have a pitching staff there, and they have guys like Votto and all those other guys that you said. I like them. I like the Reds. I like their chances. They're a young team. They're going to be hanging around for a while.
Yeah, they're going to be around for a while. I mean, once the Phillies get to the point where they have to go into a rebuilding process, the Reds might be that team in that now.
Absolutely.
I got the... where did I put it? I got the Brewers in second place, winning the wild card with about 88, 89 wins. I think this team had a great offseason, acquiring Greinke, acquiring Markham. They're going to get Gallardo back. They got Ryan Braun, who's a beast, underrated player. He can hit 35, 40 home runs. They got Casey McGee, who's supposed to be a good third baseman. They got Prince Fielder, who I picked to win the MVP. I mean, a lot is falling into place for this team. The bullpen scares you a little bit considering John Axford, everyone's favorite player, was bagging groceries 2 weeks ago.
Grocery store.
I mean, he's not... You're concerned about the Brewers bullpen, but I think their rotation's pretty solid. I mean, they got depth in that rotation, and they have a legit ace in Greinke.
If your main concern is a bullpen and you're completely secure with your batting order, then I don't see a whole lot of problem.
It's not a huge problem.
No.
I mean, I don't think the Brewers are going to win the World Series, but I think they could get pretty close to doing so. I mean, the lineup can carry you pretty far.
There's no reason they can't.
First place, who you got?
First place, I got the Brewers. I think, like you said, a lot of things need to fall in place, but I think they will. They got Greinke in that acquisition this year, and he's going to be an ace for them. They got Fielder, who you picked to win the MVP, and that shows a lot right there. But you know, they have a great bunch of guys right there. Like you said, my main concern would be the bullpen, but with all the guys they have in their starting rotation, I'm not overly concerned. I'm not as concerned as I was a couple of years ago with the Phillies.
The bullpen isn't bad. I mean, they have some veterans like LaTroy Hawkins, Takashi Saito. I think the clothes are positioned.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be confident going into a sixth
Manny
inning.
Parra's in their bullpen. He's been a decent starter in MLB. Cameron Lowe has a lot of potential. We'll see. First place, I got the St. Louis Cardinals. I know they had a bad year last year, and everyone loves to pick against them. But the bottom line, I mean, their pitching is stacked. They got Matt Holliday in left field, who people love to bag on, but I still think he's a pretty solid player. Colby Rasmus, one of the most underrated players. If he can get it together with them and stop having problems with Tony La Russa, who a lot of people seem to have problems with, strange enough, I think he can be a tremendous outfielder. He already showed signs of doing so last year. Lance Berkman in right field, that's a strange thing to me. I mean,
yeah,
Lance Berkman, if he can hit, it's worth it. But I think we saw signs last year that he may not be able to hit anymore. And if he can't hit anymore, and he's not out in right field for his glove, I'm not quite sure about this move. Maybe they're thinking, well, if we trade Pujols, we got an insurance guy here. I don't think that's what they want to do, but it's possible. Ryan Terrio's a very underrated shortstop. I don't think the guy gets enough credit. And Yadier Molina is a nice player, too. So, the rotation is stacked. Adam Wainwright, Chris Carpenter, Jake Westbrook, Jaime Garcia, who was very underrated last season. Not to mention Kyle Loesch is your fifth starter. I mean, that's a nice rotation. Very underrated.
If you have a concern with this team, I think it's run support.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Ryan Franklin's their closer. You kind of caught lightning in a bottle one year.
Yeah.
Their bullpen isn't great, but I think it's good enough to get by.
It's solid. It's good enough to be sufficient, especially with the pitching rotation that they have.
All right, so that's our NL Central picks. Bit different, aren't they?
Yeah, we got some huge differences.
I'm Timmy's AC. We'll see you later.